Hi everyone, welcome to day 3 of Amonkhet spoilers. And today we have our first Planeswalker and our new Gideon. We have a lot of split cards that show up. Plus we now have all the trials and all the cartouches, if you will. I believe that's pronunciation of the word. So we'll just go through it. Now I don't have my phone here for images. One of these days I'll get the actual program / software to have them on the screen. But for now, we'll have to go by the description. So we'll obviously just start off with Gideon of the Trials. Now, I read the story where we got introduced to this card, and because I actually pay attention to the lore and the story. Vorthos, I believe, is the name of that. Vorthos kind of people. I'm interested to see where Gideon's arc goes, because right now he's in awe of the gods, and because he's Gideon of the Trials, he's going to actually start taking the trials and try to maybe beat him. I mean, we see in the trailer that Hazaret tries to stab Gideon, or try to stab a person, and Gideon blocks it, and, being Gideon, he's more or less indestructible. And we know that the trials are not what they seem. So I'm wondering if Gideon's going to be disillusioned by the gods and then come back, if he's going to turn on them. Like, that'd be your first legitimate evil white, or misguided but villainous white character. Not white-blue like, oh, damn it, what was that guy's name? Dovin Bond. But white. But, if he's disillusioned when he wakes up, if everyone just gives him a look like, you idiot. It's like, I'm sorry, it's just don't. We'll talk about this later. Domino, what you doing? Domino just wants to be active at the moment. But anyway, Gideon of the Trials. 3 loyalty, 2 white, 1 of any color, 3 mono together. 1 second, hold on. Sorry, folks. There you go. Or is it because I'm talking, you don't want me to be talking at the camera, you just want my attention? No, she wanted to go out. Alright then, sorry about that, folks. Anywho, so anyway, 2 white, 1 of any color, so 3 altogether. 3 loyalty, so right there it's a 3 for 3, which is cheaper than the last Gideon, but also easier to play. Now, he has no minus abilities. What he has is a +1 ability, where until your next turn, prevent all damage target permanent would deal. So that's his protection ability for himself. Or he can turn into a 4/4 indestructible creature. Well, not indestructible. He can turn into a 4/4. Yeah, no, a 4/4 indestructible planeswalker. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to him this turn. Doesn't that kind of defeat the purpose? But whatever. And his final 0, his 0 ultimate ability is you put an emblem on the battlefield. You get an emblem that says, as long as you control a Gideon Planeswalker, you cannot lose the game, and your opponent cannot win the game. Now, I've had to think about this for a little bit when I saw this earlier today. It's an amazing card all around. It's complete and other protection like Gideon does. And the can't win is the emblem that says you can't win, you can't lose and they can't win. It's a very rare ability. We don't see it on many cards. Like Platinum Angel has it. The Demon had the vice versa version of it. But it's a bit of a now don't get me wrong. If you get the chance to play it, because it's better to have it than not have it. But you need the minute you put that emblem on the field, or even before, this Gideon becomes a massive target because they need to get rid of the Gideon. There's no way to get rid of emblems, so you have to get rid of the Gideon if you want to defeat your opponent. If you can exile him, great. That'd probably be the best way to do it. But then again, you can have multiple Gideons in your deck, there's like 4 different versions of Gideon. So I don't know for certain how I would interpret this card. I like it a lot. It's a really good card, but I feel like that last ability is like a bit of a bullseye. The beauty is, though, you can play either the creature or the emblem ability right from the get. If you got a creature to help defend him, even better. But moving on, we have Watchers of the Dead. Artifact cat creature. 2/2 for 2 of any color. Exile Watchers of the Dead. Each opponent chooses 2 cards in his or her graveyard and exiles the rest. It's a bear. Bears are never bad. It does have an upside, but do you really want to sacrifice? I mean, I don't know. You could block and then exile? And then I don't know. I mean, this is I guess good for trying to get rid of the embalmed stuff, but I don't know. I can't say I dig this one the card very much. Again, as far as a 2/2 creature goes, it's got an upside to it. It's a 2/2 for any color of mana. So yeah, nothing wrong with it. Then we have our Cartouches. Now we already had the white one, the Cartouche of Solidarity, which was 1 white, 1/1/1 and vigilance. Plus you put a 1/1 creature with a warrior with vigilance into the battlefield. So good card all around. Loved it. The other Cartouches are as follows: the Cartouche of Knowledge, the blue one. 1 blue, 1 of any color. Same +1/+1 and flying, except you draw a card. It's a draw, gives evasion, and a pump for 2 mana. Good card. Cartouche of Strength. +2, +2 of any color, 1 green. Get +1/+1. It has trample, and enters the battlefield. You may have enchant creature, fight target creature. Again, basically a pseudo removal, and it's only a May, so you can just play it and get the pump up. Good card. Cartouche of Ambition. 2 of any color, 1 black. Creature gets +1/+1 and lifelink. Never underestimate lifelink in a limited format. And enters the battlefield, put a -1/-1 counter onto our creature. Again, a pseudo removal. When you're using, the trials can return to the hand. The Cartouches don't. But it's still a good card all around, especially if you're carrying multiples. And then we move on to the Trials of Ambition. Now, I'm trying to figure out if the Trials may hint at the overall abilities or requirements of the gods. I say that because Trial of Knowledge it draws cards that will allow you to actually use the God of the Mindful, the blue god, because you need 7 cards to be able to attack or block with them. The red god needs less than 2 cards or less than 1 or less in your hand in order to attack, but it deals damage in the form of by discarding and dealing, I think, 2 damage. This one, when it enters the battlefield, the red one, Trial of Zeal, 2 of any color, 1 red, and they're all enchantments. Deals 3 damage. They're all the same. Return to hand if you play a Cartouche. 3 damage. It's a sorcery speed removal to creature or player, but it's is what it is. Removal is never terrible. Trial of Solidarity, the white one, 1 green. They're all actually, except for the black one, they're all actually 2 of any color and one of their respective color, except for the blue one, which is 4 for some reason, probably because of card draw. But Trial of Solidarity enters when it enters the battle, a creature you control get +2/+1 and vigilance till the end of turn. Now, I don't think that hints at what the creature or what the god's requirement for playing is, but I do feel like it shows off what the god is capable of doing. I think it's a like an anthem god that may give vigilance. I think that like a +1/+1 in vigilance to all other creatures you got. So I get that vibe. Trial of Strength, and it's overall a good card for what it's worth. Actually, no, it works good as a quick combat trick, like before combat. Other than that, though, it's not. It's sitting there doing nothing. But then again, technically they all do. Trial of Strength, 2 and 2 any color, 1 green. Enters the battlefield, you get a 4/2 green beast. Even if you can do it, bring it back once, this is a good card. It's basically a 4/2 for 3, which is a decent vanilla altogether. But that also makes me wonder, what is the god? I have a feeling the green god's requirement is power and or toughness. I think that's what it is. Trial Ambition, 1 black, 1 of any color. Target opponent sacrifices a creature. That's like the best removal, near to the best removal you can. While you don't target, you're forcing that basically gets rid of the indestructible guys. And please don't tell me you're going to do this right now. Do not do this right now. Please don't do this right now. You're going to do this right now, aren't you? Give me 1 second. I need to make sure on something right now. Come on. Oh, okay, no, my internet's not messed up at the moment. Sorry, for some reason my internet's been going in and out recently. So yeah, sorry if it's if I paused there for a second. So anyway, moving on. Sorry about that. We'll move. And the Cartouche of Zeal, by the way, I forgot, It also costs just one of its respect color, 1 red. Enters the battlefield, target creature can't block, and creature gets +1/+1 haste. Good card all around. Painful lesson: 2 of any color, 1 black sorcery. Target player draws 2 cards and loses 2 life. Seen a lot of cards like that before. It's fine. I'm not a big black player, but it's fine. Combat Celebrate. Now this is one of our mythics. We have Gideon. We know we have our 5 gods. So they're going to take up 5 mythic slots. There's probably 15 mythics, like normal for big sets. I think even small sets usually have 15, if not 10, or if not 15, 10. I believe it's got 15 mythics. But anyway, for big sets. So there's a secondary red card. For the set. Now we know Liliana's going to have a black card. We still need a black god. So we're going to be seeing an extra green mythic and an extra blue mythic that are not or actually no, yeah, we're going to see those and probably a couple of multicolors and maybe an artifact mythic. Anyway, this one is Combat Celebrant. 2 of any color, 1 red, 4/1. The 3 converted mana cost 2 and 1 of any color seems to be a very common thing in this set. But if Combat Celebrant hasn't been exerted this turn, you may exert it as it attacks. When you do, untap all of the creatures you control, and after this phase, there is an additional combat phase. Basically, you can untap all the things you just... If you have exerted, like if you got like a couple Glory Bringers or something like that, or other exerted creatures, guess what? You can now untap all the things you exerted and do it all over again. This is one of the few like extra combat phase cards that looks pretty decent to me. So I dig this card a lot. Now it does have a problem that it's got a very, very weak toughness. It's 1. It can die very easy. But that being said, it's still really good. Scarab Feast, 1 black, instant. Exile up to 3 target creature cards. 3 target cards from a single graveyard. Cycling, 1 black. Good way to keep your opponent from being able to embalm. Other than that, though, it is whatever it is. Last 5 cards. 4 of them are split cards. We got a lot of split cards, a lot of aftermath cards. So we have Cut and Ribbons. Cut is that's rare. In fact, they are all rares. All these aftermath cards are rares. Well, let's see if they live up to the value. Cut deals 4 damage to target creature. It's essentially a not Flame Slash. There's another card that's pretty much just like it. Flame Slash, but it's Sorcery and then Dominoes up there. That's fine, not necessarily rare, but you know. And then you have Ribbons, which is 1x, 1x, 2x is basically 2 black, 1x. So 2 black X. Aftermath, play from your graveyard. Each opponent loses X life. So, the problem, first off, one of the big problems I'm seeing with the multicolor split cards is that with multicolor split cards, you almost certainly have to be in 2 colors. And like in a limited environment, if you're like, let's say you've got a good green and blue pull, but you pull this card too, which in theory is a decent card, in view is an overall decent card. Like the first part you can play really easy, knock a decent sized creature out, wait out your opponent for a couple turns, say you got 6 mana, do 4 damage to them. That being said, you don't gain the life, so it's not a great version of one of those X dealing damage cards. So overall, this card's just kind of mediocre. Then we have Insult and Injury. 2 of any color, 1 red for Insult. Damage can't be prevented this turn. It is also a sorcery. If a source you control would deal damage to it this turn, it deals double the damage instead. It's fine if you got if you have the ability to do damage to an opponent or a creature or whatever. Fine, great, it's good. Then we have the Aftermath, which is Injury. 2 of any color, same cost, 2 of any color, 1 red. Aftermath, play from your graveyard. Injury deals 2 damage to target creature and 2 damage to target player. Look, on their own, all these cards are perfectly fine, really good actually. In fact, honestly, that first Insult actually seems a little over, because that ability is usually a lot more highly leveled in terms of mana cost. So that's actually surprisingly good. And Injury is perfectly fine. The problem is that the best way to be playing these, I think, would be to together. If you got both their effects together, fine. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just maybe it's one of those you choose to play at another point in time. I don't know. I know it's basically when you choose to play it kind of thing. Maybe I'm just having a hard time wrapping my mind around that. Then we have Rags and Riches. Or Rags to Riches, I suppose. Yeah, Rags, a black card. 2 black, 2 of any color, sorcery. All creatures get -2/-2 until the end of turn. So it's a board sweeper. Perfectly fine. Riches, 5 mana of any color, 2 blue, 7 altogether. Aftermath. Obviously, each opponent chooses a creature he or she controls. You gain control of those creatures. Only really good in, say, Commander or a limited or a multiplayer format. So honestly, just play it for its Rags, and if you're lucky enough to be getting to the Riches part of it, you can play Riches and get a creature during like a one-on-one game, which is what most games are. Last Aftermath card, and then we have our last card for today. Mouth and Feed. Okay, we got a hippo attacking a flamingo in this flamingo. I said flamingo, but flamingo. So it's okay. Mouth, 3 of any color, or 3 mana, 2 of any color, 1 green. We got a Peeper. Creature, create a 3/3 hippo creature token. Okay. Then Feed. Draw a card for each creature you control with power 3 or greater. That one's 4, 3 of any color, 1 green. That one, I mean, if you're in green, which with green, this card actually is pretty good. This card's actually not bad. Particularly because you're at the minimum, as long as that token survives, you're getting one, you're drawing a card. But I don't know. These Aftermath cards, honestly, they're hit and miss. When they do hit, like, I think Insult and Injury is a decent one. And this mouth one's not bad. What was the other one that I saw earlier a couple days ago, or maybe it was yesterday? That was actually pretty good. Where are you? You're over here somewhere. Onward to Victory. That one's actually pretty decent because of the Double Strike. Double Strike is not something, especially when you like have the fact that some of these cards are giving unblockable to creatures. That's actually a pretty good card. But the last card for today is As Foretold. Now this is an interesting one. This is one of those cards I'd feel like would be a story card, but it's not. Again, enchantment. And this is just a rare. So yeah. Again, enchantment, As Foretold, 2 of any color, 1 blue, 3 again. At the beginning of your upkeep, put a time counter on As Foretold. Once each turn, you may pay 0 rather than pay the mana cost for a spell you cast with converted mana cost X or less, where X is the number of time counters on As Foretold, which means essentially once you get to a certain amount of counters on this, your first spell, not even your first spell, you can choose to play it, basically. And if you have multiple, then multiple it up. Basically, a card per turn will become free after a certain. I'm gonna guess like roughly around the 4 to 5 mana mark, because I don't think especially because I'm thinking like pre-release sealed and all that stuff. You're not gonna have many cards beyond that mana cost. But then after a while, you're just gonna keep getting time counters, and it's like, okay, I don't have pretty much, and then your Riches suddenly becomes free. So. This card is a ticking time bomb of a card. I have not seen really any enchantment removal yet in this set, so and there's only a little in Kaladesh. There's more artifact than enchantment, but there's some enchantment. So this is a ticking time bomb of a card for letting your stuff be free. So your opponent needs to answer this immediately. And if you're playing against this and they play this, you need to answer it immediately as soon as you can, because otherwise their shit's gonna get free very quickly, and after that. Yeah. So anyway, I dig that card immensely. But anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. If you have ideas for who would win, Star Wars, superhero, what if, magic, anything I do on the channel, put that in the comments below too. I do get to it. Be back in a little bit with who would win, and tomorrow will be the Smurfs. So la 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 la. The movie may suck, but I'm still going to open, and me and Mark are still going to open the review for that. I swear to God. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll be back later with who would win.